vision and efforts. Today, Kailasa's Jnanalaya is the houses world's largest collection of Kashmiri Saivism texts. You heard it right. Whatever Kashmiri Saivism text that is remaining today after the brutal persecution that the community has faced, Kailasa is the houses the world's largest collection. And it is not only housing the largest collection, it is sharing it with the world for free and making the whole science user friendly, making it available for the entire humanity. That is the most important contribution that Swamiji has been doing for more than 30 years, for 30 years now. So, the ideological persecution that we went through, now the intellectual persecution that we went through, in every single level, Hindus have been targeted, and you can see the clear start of revival happening in the last 30 years because of the persistent efforts of Swamiji, where he never compromised in anything when it comes to revival of Hinduism.
Yes, actually, a couple of more, horrific, incidents about, the genocide, in Kashmir, around in Mirpur, so many thousands of people were abducted and, raped, and also in Rajouri, where 30,000 Hindus and Sikhs were reportedly killed, wounded, abducted. So such was the state of merciless killing and mass rapes and etc. and extensive killing that happened, and still. Still, if you see today, we hear about the Kashmiri Pandits, being killed, and still, there is that still it's happening, today, in that region.
Yes, and I'm going to take a few minutes of all of your time to show the amount of work that Swamiji has done to revive these sacred Hindu scriptures. About $640 million have been on reviving, preserving, and making these Hindu scriptures user-friendly. Today, Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Jnanalaya is the world's largest library pertaining to Hindu scriptures. And not only that, it's all about collecting, preserving, making it digital, making it available to one and all, and ensuring that the entire ecosystem, especially the 21 Hindu kingdoms that Swamiji is the Mahamandalesh or Guru Mahasanidhanam, where all these Hindu sciences are revived and made it as user-friendly.
Yes, the Kailasa's National Archive, initiative, is something, is very important, for generations. This revival, on the ancient palm scripts, and the digitization of Hindu manuscripts that will be available, for generations, to come. And it is important, to understand what has happened to us, so we can change, the future to, from what it is now.
Yes, and next I'm going to explain on the amount of funding that has been spent on these preserving of these Hindu scriptures. Yes, so towards the collection, conservation, digitization of Hindu manuscripts, about $640.5 million Hindu scriptures, $1 million were spent. You can see in this, mostly it was all about importing and assembling of Vedic mandates. That itself took about 600 million, and the rest of the funding went into facilitation, physical and digital archival, digitization and conservation of all of these Vedic mandates.
Yes. So yes. So this continues, in a larger scale. So now we move on to the next segment of the science of power manifestation. So, the power manifestation, existed, before through, earlier, in 1800s, and really how the system, the health system, the medical, health system, support system existed, in our villages and in India, around, those, times. So here is, one report from, the William Adam, where in a certain, state in Thana, in around 1 lakh, people, that we had, around midwives, to means one midwife, for every 400, people to be available, to offer, medical support. And one such, great story was from Sulagati Narasamma, from who was one of the auxiliary nurse midwife. She, for 70 years, she performed more than 15,000 traditional deliveries free of charge. Can you believe this? Free of charge, 15,000 traditional deliveries free of charge for 70 years. And she used power manifestation in the medical field. So, born in Krishnapuri in Tumkur, she was a power manifester. She was able to detect, the pulse of, the fetus while in the womb without, the use of any instruments. A staunch devotee of Bhagavan Krishna, she was known to connect with him in his form as Bhagavan Dhanvantari and manifest this power. So she could very easily detect, the position of, the baby in the womb. So this is such an amazing testimony of the health system, the support system, we had, and at those times, and it was gradually destroyed, over hundreds of years.
And what I would also like to add is, you can clearly see the robustness that the Hindu health systems had, and especially the number of people that was deployed. The stats are something astounding, because every 500 women has one midwife assigned to them. It is such a powerful health system that was developed in a very organic manner because of the social structure, the strength of the social structure that Sanatana Hindu Dharma carried. But because of this constant anti-Hindu brainwashing propaganda, we always believe that Hindu health system is all about superficial superstitions, is what we all believe. That's because of the constant brainwashing that we have been subjected to. And today, if you see, what is our state now? We are still not able to find a solution for the pandemic. On the other hand, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, has made sure that every single Kailasa around the world had 0 deaths or 0 infections during the COVID. You heard it right. 0 deaths, 0 infections in all the Kailasas around the world because of the traditional healthcare that Swamiji had provided as per Vedas and Agamas, and this entire science that Swamiji has provided and made this community experience 0 death and 0 infections is something that the United Nations have recognized and published in the report. Yes. So this is the life that we will be getting in Kailasa, where you have the best healthcare facilities, and everything is rooted in Vedas and Agamas, and you are empowered intellectually through all these scriptures of Shaiva Sampradaya, and you are empowered to experience and express your complete creativity.
Yes. So the next we're going to talk about is Ramanujam. From 1887 through 1920. The how the mathematical in the area of mathematics, in the length dimension, given any mathematics, he could answer without actually needing to solve the problem. And many such equations, many such formulas, many such signs, that he Ramanujan used the power of third eye, the length dimension, to solve many problems and give solutions to the current humanity. And his contribution has been immense in the science of mathematics using for manifestation. So really, if you actually see many complex mathematical computations, calculations, he would simply say it to just through expressing through the power of third eye. And it's just in that generation, has been one of he has done the greatest contribution to the science of to the field of mathematics. So the next we will continue is to talk about the in the medical field, the Rishi Shushruta, how the father of modern surgery used the third eye powers to do surgeries. And Shushruta was an ancient Indian a physician known as a main author of medico-surgical compendium called Sushruta Samhita. So really, Sushruta Samhita was written and practiced using third eye powers, and the level of detail it covers goes on into describing how fetus develops 7 layers of the skin, naming each layer, etc., going into real details, which is unimaginable in that era, but made it possible today only through microscopy, ultrasonography, etc. So Shushruta is known for treating fractures, general surgery, plastic surgery, rhinoplastic, perineal surgeries, and shuttering of wounds, etc. And today, one such thing I wanted to share is the nose surgery. So during those times, when soldiers made a mistake or something happened, the nose of the soldiers used to be cut off. And at that time, this Shushruta school of medicine, they used to perform hundreds of surgeries on these soldiers, and they perfected the art of surgery. And even today, the science, the technology, what was done during that time, even today it's followed by the leading medicinal schools like Princeton. And many papers, medical research papers, have been written around this. So it's a major contribution has been done, a little over 9,000 years old science through the Shushruta school of medicine. So even here, even the the science of the same way the plastic surgery, the science of the plastic surgery was destroyed through the cultural genocide by the invaders, and really now it's important this such an amazing science in the medical field needs to be revived. So as a consequence of these several crimes of this invasion, we see that even contemporary India is facing challenges in the healthcare sector. When it comes to doing complex plastic surgeries, and there are more number of infant deaths at the time of birth, and we see continued challenges in the healthcare industry. So Kailasa has initiatives, really providing an extraordinary, healthcare, reviving this department of healthcare, by making leadership opportunities, engaging different platforms, making things available for disabled individuals, and also in using the power of third eye, making it available to the through the blinds initiative. And the cure and care vision impairment through Nithya is such a unique contribution and ancient combination of components of Nithyananda yoga, which includes different asanas, kumbhakas. So Swamiji is really reviving all of these authentic kriyas, yogas through in a very authentic way to be able to revive and contribute to the current problems. And also hearing impairing initiatives. So Kailasa Department of Human Service has partnered with deaf and dumb schools in Gujarat, showcased this extraordinary feat of putting to action the principle of everyone is Paramashiva, empowering each individual to build their confidence and raise their self-esteem, so they become independent and contributing members of the society. So same way through disabilities and development disabilities, etc.
Yes. And the other thing which I wanted to add to here is how these anti-Hindu elements is now currently literally removing the essence of Hinduism, which is festivities. Whether you take the Kavadia Yatra, where they termed the whole spiritual yatris as hooligans and thieves. And now if you take Holi, there is a lot of restriction to use the colored water on people's face. And now you have restrictions on Ganesh Chaturthi, where they say that you cannot put the Ganesha in the ocean. Now you also have restrictions about bursting crackers during Diwali. Come on, what can Hindus do? If there is restriction on every single festival, important festival, that is actually holding all of us together, why should we not celebrate it? And why does no other religion experience this kind of bans?
Exactly. Right? See, some of the ads for in the jewelry or perfumes. Now, if you see, they have moved away from the Hindu culture, where no bindi, and Hindu way of representing, jewelry. Same way, the Hindu sentiments, religious Hindu sentiments, are heard. I see many articles, say Indian festivals poison waterways. Similarly, now there's an article that says Ganesh Chaturthi, Indian toxic festival. So it is such religious sentiments of Hindus are being heard, but at the same time, continuously telling this, and weakening, our, backbone, and trying to break, our, tradition, and trying to break our tradition. Similarly, pollution happening in, River Ganga. So these are some of the examples. Continuously, the anti-Hindu elements, try to portray, give a false, agenda, false narrative on this.
Yes. So what Swamiji has done is, in fact, Swamiji holds the Asia Book of Records for making 13 Brahmotsavams in a year celebrated by a single Hindu temple. 13 Brahmotsavams, which means practically it is like more than 320 days in a year will be celebrated as a festival. So it is like something phenomenal what Swamiji has done. And it is not in just one temple. Swamiji has guided and evolved more than 50 temples around the world. In all of these temples, Swamiji ensures that more than 320 years of celebrations are happening, and each of these celebrations are happening in alignment to the reference temple. So in this way, the entire sentiments of Hindus are protected, and at the same time, all these temples and festivals and rituals, whatever is being performed in Adi Kailash and elsewhere, everything is ensured that it is actually relayed live. So, in digitally and physically empowering the Hindus to come back to their celebrative space. This is one of the most important and sweetest contribution of the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So, we just wanted to take this moment to mention that. And if you see, so far, so much of persecution has happened to us. And what we are also seeing is there is a huge need to solve the world problems today. And Hinduism has got solutions for all these problems. We don't need to work for it. Our ancestors and Paramashiva has given it. And we have our avatar as Guru who is going to guide us and make this whole thing happen. So all we need to do is take that first step towards manifesting Sarvapita. Moment you take that first step, you will see how automatically all the doors and windows will be.
Yes. So this is the time festivities I would like to highlight also is in all the Kailas in Kailasa, at least in the Kailasa, Los Angeles. I had an opportunity there, and how beautifully it happens in India in Sarvagambita Ajma and Sarvagambita Karta. So I kindly request all of you to post your messages in your Zoom. So here is the link, sksjp.org/contribute. So in the meanwhile, we'll just give you a few minutes, and we will have a short scanning session for the participants. Yes, Nithyanandam, I think we had a small technical glitch. Hopefully, all of you are able to hear. Yes, if you're able to, yes, if you're able to hear me, you can give me a thumbs up, or you can post in your Zoom chat, so I'm able to see each one of you, your comments. Yes, Nithyanandam, if you're able to hear me, Nithyanandam, you can please post in the Zoom chat.
Yeah, so now we will requesting all the participants and viewers to post if you would like to have a third eye scanned in this FB link.
Uh,
Yes, I request all the participants to post your requests. Like if you would like to get scanned, you can post that in this Facebook group. So please go to SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam page and you can post that in the group. So we can say here how Oza is sharing that after each day of the program, my inner space is more firm, even during the situations before I was stressed. Now I handle with calm and knowledge of it. It's just a dream and drama. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Right. And I request all the participants to kindly post if you would like to get scanned in the Facebook page event. Right. So requesting everybody to post if you would like to get scanned. So participants in the Zoom room, if your chat window is disabled, you can come to Facebook and post your request to get scanned in the Facebook event page. Yes, okay. So we have here Ma Paramashiva Priyama for scanning. And we have here Ma Jnanatmaya Priyananda. That's great. And who else? Ma Musu He. So also put the request for scanning. Okay, so now with Swamiji's grace and blessings, let's begin. Amritaya, would you like to go first?
Yes, Nithyananda. Sorry for the technical glitch. So, Paramashiva Priya, what Swamiji revealed to me was the mental setup of the intensity to make the decision into the future. You are always wanting to push, anything that you want to do into the future, missing the present, what you can do now. So look into why you feel know that you want to do something tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Why not now? What you're empowered to change your life now. And if you can see what is making you feel to move into the future and make that intense decision now, that at this very moment, let me decide to become Sarvangapita Yajman, you will manifest, you will attract the right situations, right people, right, and you will manifest to become founding fathers, founding mothers of Kailasa. Yes.
Right. And next we have Jnanamaya Priyananda. It's just checking once again. Yes, it's Jnanamaya Priyananda requesting you to intensely connect with Swamiji. Let us both connect with Swamiji in our third eye and let us chant the Mahavakyam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Yes. Swamiji revealed that there is an intense desire to explore yourself in the field of arts. Because of so much of self-hatred that you developed in the age 11, you are not exploring yourself in arts dimension. So I request you to sit and pen down that incident and see it. Literally, you'll be able to see a new powerful, liberating cognition when you look at the same event, same incident. And after that, list down the list of steps that you're going to take to manifest your being in the field of arts. So with Swamiji's grace and blessing, you'll be simply able to do it. So requesting you to take a few minutes to pen down that incident at 11 and let's do completion through third eye. Okay, there are some more people.
Yes. Laws and how? Yes, Nithyananda. I'm scanning you now. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Yes, laws and how? Yes. So what Swamiji revealed to me was you give up very easily. Anything that you are doing, you just give up easily. The intensity with which you are making, the decision whether it is anything in your personal life or whether it is to doing the programs, that intensity of the decision is missing. Um, so intensely with will persistence. Now, if you just sit with will persistence that you want to manifest Sarvangapita, you will manifest immediately, and just create this space, and during this darshan you will have a breakthrough. Yes, Laws and how? Nithyananda.
Yes, and now he's scanning Nikhil and Nikhil Soni, who's saying that you want to manifest Paramashivam for you and your parents. Okay. Let us intensely connect with Swamiji in our third eye. And let's chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Yes. So, Nikhil, one thing that Swamiji showed me is first, drop this decision fatigue that you have in your life, right? There is so much of decision fatigue. If you see right now itself, there are few things which will simply move if you take an action, take a decision. But what happens is every time you want to take a decision and make the movement happen, your self-doubt and self-denial is so strong that it makes you confused and it just becomes a vicious cycle. So decision fatigue is one of the key karma that your being is actually going through. And Swamiji has beautifully shared so many times. If you simply decide to break the karma, that you're not going to fall for this pattern anymore. If you have a conscious breakthrough, then the impact of karma will not be there in your life. So now all you need to do is decide, right? Decide clearly, why do you want to manifest Paramashivam? What are the doors that is available to you which is accessible? What are the actions that you need to take it for make that happen? The whole process is so simple, but it becomes simple only when you decide it to be simple, right? So I request you to take this moment and intensely complete with it. Yes. So anybody else would like to get scanned, you can actually post that in the chat. So thank you so much whoever has commented and received your scans. All the courses will get in touch with you guys. And let us all work together to make it happen.
Yes. Lao Zhen Hao. Yes, Nithyananda. Yes, what I also saw additional things that Swamiji revealed was also you have the resources to become SJP. You're delaying, procrastinating, and the moment today you make a decision, you will be able to become Sarvangapita Yajman before Shivratri. Lao Zhen Ho? Yes, Nithyananda. If you're able to hear our what we're sharing, you can also comment that you heard in the Facebook, so we know that you've heard it. Yes. Anybody else who is requesting, for a scan, please post a message in the Facebook group under the events.
Right. Any other participant who would like to get yourself scanned? You can post that in the chat. Right. So with this, would like to once again remind and share with all the participants, do not miss this opportunity where you can become the founding fathers of Kailasa. Every day there is a bilateral agreement that is getting signed. Every day there is a sister city agreement that is getting signed. Swamiji is taking the whole nation to a completely different level, which we cannot even comprehend. So being a part of Kailasa is going to be one of the rarest boons that we all may get. And it is right now, it is in a place where everybody can work together to make it happen. So I request all the participants to take 2 minutes, sign up in the form that has been projected, skajp.org/contribute. Show your very intention to this cosmos that you are ready for the translation. And with Swamiji's grace and blessings,
Yes, Muzi, he is requesting for a scan. Yes, Nithyananda. Yes, I'm doing the scan for you. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Yes, Muzehi, Nithyanandam. Yes, what Swamiji revealed to me, you don't stick to your decisions that you make, even in your daily life. You make a decision and then you don't stick to that. You just keep changing. So even for you to become Sarvangapita Yajman, founding fathers of Kailasa, you bring stability to your decision. Look into your life at least maybe two, three incidents, very recent incidents that you feel you wanted to do it. You decided to do it, but you did not do it. So look into the at least two, three incidents, complete with this. You will be and make a new sankalpa to become Sarvagna Yajaman. By Shivaratri, you will become founding fathers of Kailasa. Nithyanandam. Yes. So all of you, whoever has wants us to scan, so please post your comments on Facebook. Yes. So all of you, there. Today you can make the decision, a sankalpa to become founding fathers by starting towards attending the Paramashivam Season 2 program. See, your decision today to stand by wanting to become Sarvagna Manifester is a testament to supporting the Mahakalasa's vision, mission, Swamiji's vision and mission. In a way, how you've seen, we've been persecuted, and our communities are persecuted, and all our best things, that we've offered, Hinduism has offered, is just being destroyed. So your decision today to become Sarvagna Manifester, attending the 21 days of Paramashivam Season 2 is indication of you stand for it. You stand up for the cause, you stand up, and each one of you can bring immense contribution to the change, immense contribution to the shift, to making it happen, to making the revivals successful, bringing to its completion, and make it available for generations. And so do not procrastinate. Maybe I'll do it next time, or any other obstacles. Don't be too attached to your obstacles, your problems. Let go of that, and have the goal, as what you want to manifest, instead of uh, taking the side of your problems, being convinced with your problems. And you can also post, in the Facebook, what aspect of today's presentation that you heard that really resonates with you, and really you want to support that particular area, what Swamiji is reviving. So you can post your comments, in Facebook as well. And also, additionally, we have people who are wanting scanning done. Please post your comments. So all the people who we scanned, a couple of them now, uh, all of you can take the next step right away before before the darshan. So you can have a breakthrough just during the darshan. So whatever was revealed to you, please take the next steps and prepare yourself during the darshan to get a breakthrough. Yes. Yes, Nithyanandam E. Lee is requesting for a scan. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Yes, Nithyanandam E. Lee. Yes, what Swamiji revealed was let go of your insecurity. Let go of your insecurity and whatever you have today, make a decision to contribute towards Sarvagnapita, Karta, and just with the intensity of that decision and letting go of the insecurity, you will manifest wealth and become Sarvagnapita Karta by Shivaratri. Nitya Tirtha Rupananda, Nityanandam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Yes, Nithyanandam Tirtharupaya. Yes, what Swamiji revealed was make this as a priority. If you make this as a priority over other things, you will manifest for SJP, and soon you will become Sarvagapita Yajman. Nityanandam. Yes, we have someone posted in Chinese about Yili. If, yes, somebody has posted in Chinese. If you can post your name in the comments, uh, we can scan you. Yes, Nithyanandam, anybody else needing scanning, please post your comments in the in the Facebook page. Yes, Nithyanandam, Gnananjali. Yes, Nithyanandam. Yes, let me do the scanning. Yes. 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 Nithyananda. Yes. I want to complete during the power manifestation. During the power manifestation session, it is Swamiji showing me through through a third eye, and it's only Swamiji. Whatever is being shown is what I'm sharing. So I complete again with all the viewers. Nityanandam.
Yes. And that comes the end of this segment. I hope all the participants who ever had your raised hand, you can post your responses, how you feel, and have you taken action, all of that in the chat, and we will attend to it. And this comes to the end of the session. And tomorrow, hopefully, again, once again, we'll share with you much more effective information about Kailasa, about Hindu Holocaust, and many more things. And now we are all going to be receiving the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Swamiji, manifesting as Mahasadashiva. Yes, the most awaited moment of the day. I request all the participants to settle down and let us all have a blast being in the presence of Swamiji, who is going to manifest as the Mahasadashiva. So, what is Bhava Samadhi Darshan? It is mirroring the neurons of the avatar who's descended with the universal consciousness from our individual consciousness. So when we mirror the neurons of the avatar, we simply radiate him and we manifest him. So it's going to be a very, very important session. And firstly, we will be seeing a video to understand the science of energy darshan. Yes, I request all the participants to turn on your camera, whoever is there in the Zoom. For security reasons, we will definitely require all of you to turn on the video camera when the darshan is on. Lot of great responses and happy faces in the Zoom. I request everybody to turn on your video camera and let's get ready. Let's prepare ourselves to see the darshan of Swamiji manifesting as the Mahasadashiva.
Hello again. Gaze into a mirror and what do you see? Well, I see my face, of course, but in my face I see moods, I see shifts of feeling. We humans are really good at reading faces and bodies because if I can look at you and feel what you're feeling, I can learn from you, connect to you, I can love you. Empathy is one of our finer traits, and when it happens so easily, perhaps because, and this is brand new science, this is just out of the lab, we may have some special circuitry in our brains that helps us whenever we look at each other. Ask yourself, why do people get so deeply involved with such anguish, such pain, such nail-biting tension over football?
Cleveland Browns are gambling on defense.
Why are we such suckers for sports? And it's not just sports. We can lose it completely at the movies, at video games, watching a dance. Is there something about humans particularly, that allows us to connect so deeply when we watch other people? Watch them moving, watch them playing, watch their faces. Well, as it happens, scientists have an explanation for this strange ability to connect. It's new.
It had never been found on the cellular level before.
A set of brain cells found on either side of the head. Among all the billions of long branching cells in our brain, these so-called mirror neurons have surprising power.
What we found is the mechanism that underlies something which is absolutely fundamental to the way that we see other people in the world.
And it began entirely by accident at a laboratory in the lovely old city where a group of brain researchers was working with monkeys. And they were testing a neuron, that's a brain cell, that always made this sound whenever the monkey would grab for a peanut. So the lab had all these peanuts around, and whenever the monkey made its move, the neuron would fire. Scientists thought, now here's a neuron that is essential to motion. It's a motor neuron. Then one day the monkey was just sitting around, not moving at all, just sitting, when a human scientist came into the lab. And when that scientist grasped the peanut, the monkey's cell fired. Now, the monkey hadn't moved. It was the human that had moved, suggesting that this neuron up here couldn't tell the difference between seeing something and doing something. Seeing and doing were the same. Or more intriguingly, that for this neuron, watching somebody do something is just like doing it yourself. The head of the lab, Giacomo Rizzolatti, thought, wow.
The same neurons, one neuron, fire both when the monkey observes something and when monkey is doing something. It's almost unbelievable.
It was surprising because this cell which was involved with motor planning for the monkey turned out to be interested in the movements of other people as well.
Some people call them monkey see, monkey do neurons, but the name that stuck is mirror neurons because with them, the brain seems to mirror the movements it sees. This accidental discovery got scientists thinking, doing more tests, and it soon came pretty clear that this is not just a monkey thing. It's a people thing, too. We all know that humans learn by looking and copying. That's what infants do. First you look, then you do.
Ready? Let's see your feet this way.
And once you've watched and copied and learned a set of moves, you not only have them in your head,
Look, you put your shoe on.
if you see somebody else doing it, you can share the experience.
And you want to do it with me?
They know the moves, you know the moves, so you can move with them.
Wow.
If you can use the years of training that you yourself have done, learning to crawl, then learning to walk, then learning to eat, this is an incredibly rich set of knowledge that you could apply to the problem of actually seeing what's going on.
So that's why when I head down this street carrying all of these packages, not only do people watch, look how they're watching. They feel my predicament because they know what it's like to carry heavy packages. They all know about carrying. So as they watch me moving, they can feel themselves moving. Theirs are mirroring the action. These neurons may be the brain's way of translating what we see so we can relate to the world.
The mirror system is the way that you tap into, the way that you harness your own abilities and project them out into the world.
And people are really good at watching and translating what we see. Like with just 13 moving dots, that's all there are here, you'll have no trouble recognizing these very ordinary activities. What's more, tests have shown when a person sees a movie like this of his own movement, he'll recognize it immediately as his own. And that's why sports fans tense with the action and wince and leap, because if you know the game, then your neurons are firing as if it's you playing, giving a whole new meaning to armchair quarterback. That's why it's so easy to be a sports fan. But there is more, suggests UCLA professor Marco Iacoboni. He thinks mirror neurons tie us not just to other people's actions, but to other people's feelings.
So the idea was to try to figure out how the emotional system and this motor system are connected together. We're going to go in the scanner. What you're going to do is
To demonstrate, he put me into this very powerful fMRI brain scanner that can peer into the brain while it's working. And he gave me some goggles so he could show me pictures when I was in there.
So you can see here the eyeball of Robert.
And once he had a good view into my brain...
Nice looking brain.
Thank you.
Robert, you're not supposed to talk when we scan you, all right?
Sorry.
Then he said, okay, I'm going to show you a bunch of faces. And for each face, I want you to imitate it. So I did that. Then he recorded my brain while I moved my facial muscles.
We're going to do right away another one.
Okay.
Then he said, okay, same faces, but this time, don't move a muscle. Just look. So I looked. When we checked the results...
Oh, there's my brain. I've never seen my brain before.
This is your mirror area.
Iacoboni says that the part of my brain that's working when I make a face, the same part gets busy when I see the face. Plus, when I was looking at these faces, I remember feeling extra uncomfortable, kind of bad. But when these faces came on, I felt better, almost happy. And in fact, at the moment I was looking at the happy face, my brain, and this is my brain, in that instant, see the red area here? It shows activity in the happy, emotional part of my brain. And when I was imitating happy faces, look, I get even a bigger response. This, says Iacoboni, is a consistent result. Mirror neurons, he believes, can send messages to the limbic or emotional system in our brains. So it's possible these neurons help us tune in. That's empathy.
We strongly believe that that's a unifying mechanism that allows people to actually connect at a very simple level.
You're saying that there's a place in my brain whose job it is to live in other people's minds, live in other people's bodies.
That's right.
Oh, darling, I'm going to die. Don't let me die.
Yeah.
And great actors instinctively know that if they put feeling and drama into their bodies,
Hold me tight. Don't let me go.
their faces,
It's dark out there and lonely.
we will respond.
Can't die. You're too brave to die.
What actors are expert in is using their movements to inspire feelings in the people watching. These are the experts in the mirror system.
We are intensely social creatures. We literally read other people's minds. I don't mean anything psychic like telepathy, but you can adopt another person's point of view.
When you put it together, what do you think it's going to be?
So if mirror neurons help us connect
great.
emotionally, what about people who have trouble with this? Kids like Christian, who has autism.
Why do you like Legos?
It's been known for some time that children with autism could be quite intelligent, but have a profound deficit in social interaction.
There he is.
Christian can speak and read and write, but like many kids with autism, he will avoid eye contact. He often misunderstands questions.
So, Christian, can you tell me what you did in school today?
Doing well.
You're doing well?
Everybody wants to know what exactly causes this. So Dr. Ramachandran and his graduate student, Lindsay Schenk, designed an experiment.
So we're going to be reading your brain waves with this cap.
They recorded brainwaves while the kids opened and closed their hands, and while they looked at a movie of somebody else's hands. For most people, the brainwaves look the same either way, whether they're doing or seeing. But for kids with autism, the wave changes, suggesting possibly that autism may have something to do with broken mirror neurons.
Their brains may indeed be different in that regard. They have deficits in the mirror neuron system. But we don't know this for sure yet. Additional work needs to be done using brain imaging.
But what we do know, says Ramachandran, is that healthy human beings are intensely social. More than our cousins the monkeys, we invent ways to connect. We invent dances and handshakes and games to play. We eat together, we meet, and we talk. We talk a lot.
Get away. Everybody's interested in this question. What makes humans unique? What makes us different from the great apes, for example? You can say humor, or the laughing biped. Language, certainly. Okay? But another thing is culture. And a lot of culture comes from imitation, watching your teachers do something.
And here V.S. Ramachandran makes a big leap. He has proposed that at a key moment in our evolution, this is his guess, our mirror neurons got better. And that made all the difference, he says, because once we humans got better at learning from each other, looking, copying, teaching, we could do things the other creatures couldn't.
In other words, if you are a bear and suddenly the environment turns cold, you need a few million years to develop a polar bear type layers of fat and fur.
It would take many, many, many bear generations to select for furrier bears. But, says Ramachandran,
if you're a human, you watch your father slaying another bear and putting on a fur coat, skinning it, using that as a coat. You watch it, you learn it instantly. Your mirror neurons start firing away in your brain. And you perform the same sequence, complicated sequence. Instead of going through millions of years of evolution, you've done it in one generation.
And while no one's claiming that mirror neurons are the key ingredient that makes us different from other creatures, what these neurons do suggest about us seems almost self-evident. You can see it any Sunday at a sports bar. That deep in our architecture, down in our cells, we are built to be together.
There would be very little point in having a mirror system if you lived on your own. There'd be a lot of point in having a digestive system if you lived on your own. There'd be a good point in having a movement system if you lived on your own. There'd be a good point in having a visual system if you lived on your own. But there'd be no point in having a mirror system. The mirror system is the most basic social brain system. It's a brain system which there's no point in having if you don't want to interact or relate to other people.
But we do like to interact, and maybe now, as never before, we will understand why.
I am introducing one of the important sacred secret spiritual principle to all of you. Please listen, the keyword, mirror neurons. Let me explain the concept. Then we will recognize many of our understandings with this truth. As I said, recognizing is recognizing. Mirror neurons. Very recently, I was studying a research paper where they beautifully established with various analysis, researchers, on a very powerful truth. For example, If somebody is swimming in the ocean, you stand and watch. Whatever brain activity is happening in that person's brain, whatever activity is happening in his brain, in his neurons, please listen. Even if you are watching, the same activities are mirrored in your brain. The same neuron activities are mirrored in your brain. Listen. If you are watching totally, the same effect is mirrored totally in you. If you are absorbed in it, you also know a little swimming. Please listen. If you know a little swimming and you are absorbed in it, you are not swimming, you are just standing. Both brains are in the same frequency, the same effect, and no difference. Listen. If somebody is swimming in the ocean, you are standing and watching. If you don't know swimming, if you are not completely absorbed in it, maybe some 80% is mirroring. If you are absorbed in it and you also know swimming, there is no difference at all between his brain and your brain. The mirroring effect, I tell you, if you are watching totally absorbed in it, then the same activity is replicated in your brain, meaning the same kind of electric and neurotic impulses are activated in your brain. This defines, this demystifies many mystical phenomena. Please listen. Now you know why just by gazing into my eyes, you are in the space of completion. Why just looking at me, you are in the space of completion.
Yes. Now I request all the participants to settle down, and we are going to be having the most awaited form of the day, which is receiving the blessings of Swamiji, who is going to manifest as Mahasadashiva. So we will be mirroring the consciousness of Swamiji, who is going to manifest as Mahasadashiva. I request all the participants to please be with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Please close your eyes. Inhale as deeply as possible. Exhale as slowly as possible. Now, in the space of gratitude, let us connect with Swamiji intensely for showering us this wealth, this ocean of knowledge, this ocean of truth to liberate us from janmas of karma. So let us intensely connect with Swamiji and chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயுமல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயுமல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா எங்கும் நிறைந்தவா எண்ணம் கடந்தவா பொங்கும் அருவியாய் ஆனந்தம் தந்தவா எங்கும் நிறைந்தவா எண்ணம் கடந்தவா பொங்கும் அருவியாய் ஆனந்தம் தந்தவா நல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா ஏழாம் உடல்கள் தாண்டி நித்திய வாழ்வும் கண்டிட கேடான காலம் தன்னை வென்று நீலை நின்றிட ஏழாம் உடல்கள் தாண்டி நித்திய வாழ்வும் கண்டிட கேடான காலம் தன்னை வென்று நீலை நின்றிட சீரான பாவம் பழி நீங்கி பெரும் வாழ்வினை கொண்டாட நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரணம் தன்னை செய்தவா சீரான பாவம் பழி நீங்கி பெரும் வாழ்வினை கொண்டாட நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரணம் தன்னை செய்தவா என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா நித்தியமாய் விளங்கும் ஆனந்தம் கரையில்லா ஆனந்தத்தை தடை செய்திடும் மடமனம் நிலையில்லாகி வாழ்வில் நித்தியமாய் விளங்கும் ஆனந்தம் கரையில்லா ஆனந்தத்தை தடை செய்திடும் மடமனம் தடை தகர்த்து வெல்ல நித்யானந்தன் தந்த சூத்திரம் நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரணம் இந்த உலகில் இணையில்லா வரும் நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரணம் இந்த உலகில் இணையில்லா வரும் என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா ஆழியாய் விருந்து நிற்கும் கர்ம நிலை சஞ்சிதம் ஆழியாய் விருந்து நிற்கும் கர்ம நிலை சஞ்சிதம் வாழும் ஜென்மத்தோடு கொண்டு வந்த பிராரப்தமா சேருகின்ற ஆசைகளால் கூடிடும் ஆகாமியம் சேருகின்ற ஆசைகளால் கூடிடும் ஆகாமியம் வீழும் மூன்று கர்மம் நித்யானந்தன் வழி சென்றிட வீழும் மூன்று கர்மம் நித்யானந்தன் வழி சென்றிட என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா ஊடுகிறாய் உலவுகின்ற போதும் நம்மை சாடுவர் வீடாத துயில் தழுவ மனதை விட்டு நீக்குவர் ஊடுகிறாய் உலவுகின்ற போதும் நம்மை சாடுவர் வீடாத துயில் தழுவ மனதை விட்டு நீக்குவர் ஆயுள் தாண்டி விட்ட போதும் ஆண்டு கொள்ளும் மீட்பராய் தோன்றுகின்ற நித்யானந்த சத் ஆயுள் தாண்டி விட்ட போதும் ஆண்டு கொள்ளும் மீட்பராய் தோன்றுகின்ற நித்யானந்த சத்குருவில் கீழவர் என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா தந்தை தாயும் ஆன போதும் திட்டமிட்ட சொந்தம்தான் கொண்ட வந்த மக்கள் யாவும் தீர்வில்லாத நோய்களாம் தந்தை தாயும் ஆன போதும் திட்டமிட்ட சொந்தம்தான் கொண்ட வந்த மக்கள் யாவும் தீர்வில்லாத நோய்களாம் ஈடு காட்டில் இட்ட பின்பும் முக்தி தந்து ஏற்றிடும் ஈடிணை இல்லாத ஒரே சொந்தம் குரு நித்யனாம் ஈடிணை இல்லாத ஒரே சொந்தம் குரு நித்யனாம் என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா ஆசை கால நச்சம் வலியோடு குற்ற எண்ணமும் ஆசை கால நச்சம் வலியோடு குற்ற எண்ணமும் மாசு கொண்ட எண்ணங்கள் சல்காரமாய் வதைத்திடும் போதும் இந்த வாழ்வும் என்று ஜீவன் ஓய்வு தேடிடும் போதும் இந்த வாழ்வும் என்று ஜீவன் ஓய்வு தேடிடும் தேடும் ஓய்வு காட்டிடாத எண்ணம் மீண்டும் மோதிடும் தேடும் ஓய்வு காட்டிடாத எண்ணம் மீண்டும் மோதிடும் என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா என்னப்பன் அல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா எங்கும் நிறைந்தவா எண்ணம் கடந்தவா பொங்கும் அருவியாய் ஆனந்தம் தந்தவா எங்கும் நிறைந்தவா எண்ணம் கடந்தவா பொங்கும் அருவியாய் ஆனந்தம் தந்தவா கருணை வெள்ளமாய் திரண்டு கொண்ட எண்ணம் மாய்த்திடும். காலம் செய்த கோலம் மாற்றி வேதனைகள் நீக்கிடும். கருணை வெள்ளமாய் திரண்டு கொண்ட எண்ணம் மாய்த்திடும். காலம் வரும் நேரம் காட்சி தந்த கரை சேர்த்திடும். சீலனித்தின் தந்த நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரண சூத்திரம். காலம் வரும் நேரம் காட்சி தந்த கரை சேர்த்திடும். சீலனித்தின் தந்த நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரண சூத்திரம். என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. வாட்டும் வலியின் பிடியில் இந்த ஸ்தூல தேகம் தவித்திடும். சீற்றம் ஏற ஏற அச்ச எண்ணமாய் நிலை பெறும். வாட்டும் வலியின் பிடியில் இந்த ஸ்தூல தேகம் தவித்திடும். சீற்றம் ஏற ஏற அச்ச எண்ணமாய் நிலை பெறும். தாங்கும் ஞான சோளம் வலியின் வலிமை தன்னை வீழ்த்திடும். ஏங்கும் உயிர் நித்திய நருளில் ஸ்தூல தேகம் தாண்டிடும். ஏங்கும் உயிர் நித்திய நருளில் ஸ்தூல தேகம் தாண்டிடும். என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. பிராணதேகம் காம மோகத்தீயினில் உழன்றதே. பிராணதேகம் காம மோகத்தீயினில் உழன்றதே. ஆசை கடலின் அலைகள் தன்னில் கட்டுண்டே பின் மூழ்குதே. காத்து கொள்ளும் நோக்கினோடு நித்தியன் பாதம் நாடுதே. காத்து கொள்ளும் நோக்கினோடு நித்தியன் பாதம் நாடுதே. நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரணம் தரும் யுக்தி தன்னை வேண்டுதே. நித்யானந்த ஸ்புரணம் தரும் யுக்தி தன்னை வேண்டுதே. என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. கொண்ட ஆசை மோகம் யாவும் எண்ணமாக வாழ்ந்திடும். உள்ளே உள்ளி நாளெடுக்கும் நித்யன் சொன்ன சூத்திரம். கொண்ட ஆசை மோகம் யாவும் எண்ணமாக வாழ்ந்திடும். உள்ளே உள்ளி நாளெடுக்கும் நித்யன் சொன்ன சூத்திரம். பிள்ளை தமிழ் பேசும் தெய்வ ரூபம் கொண்ட நித்யனும் சொன்ன மாத்திரத்தில் காண தேகம் கரை சேர்ந்ததே. பிள்ளை தமிழ் பேசும் தெய்வ ரூபம் கொண்ட நித்யனும் சொன்ன மாத்திரத்தில் காண தேகம் கரை சேர்ந்ததே. என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. குற்றமாய் உணர்வு கொள்ளும் எண்ண மனதை வாட்டிடும். சற்றும் தெளிவில்லாத நிலை தன்னை தானே காட்டிடும். குற்றமாய் உணர்வு கொள்ளும் எண்ண மனதை வாட்டிடும். சற்றும் தெளிவில்லாத நிலை தன்னை தானே காட்டிடும். சுற்றம் கொஞ்சம் சாற்றும் சுயமாக கொஞ்சம் ஏற்றிடும். கற்ற வித்தை ஏதும் கை கடங்கிடாது போகிடும். கற்ற வித்தை ஏதும் கை கடங்கிடாது போகிடும். என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. என்னப்பனல்லவா எந்தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. தவறுணர்ந்து ஸ்படிகமாக மனம் தெளிந்த பெருநிலை, தவறுணர்ந்து ஸ்படிகமாக மனம் தெளிந்த பெருநிலை, குறைகளைந்து நிலை உயர்ந்து சிகரம் எட்டும் ஓர் நிலை, சுமை குறைந்து மனசரீரம் கடந்து செல்லும் சீர்நிலை, சுமை குறைந்து மனசரீரம் கடந்து செல்லும் சீர்நிலை, தயபுரிந்து விமல நித்யன் அருளுகின்ற மேல்நிலை, தயபுரிந்து விமல நித்யன் அருளுகின்ற மேல்நிலை. என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா, என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா, எங்கும் நிறைந்தவா எண்ணம் கடந்தவா பொங்கும் அருவியாய் ஆனந்தம் தந்தவா, எங்கும் நிறைந்தவா எண்ணம் கடந்தவா பொங்கும் அருவியாய் ஆனந்தம் தந்தவா. சக்கரம் உள்ளடக்கும் தேகம் சூக்ஷ்மமாகுமே, காயம் கொள்ளும் வேதனை உணர்வும் இங்கு ஓங்குமே, சப்த சக்கரம் உள்ளடக்கும் தேகம் சூக்ஷ்மமாகுமே, காயம் கொள்ளும் வேதனை உணர்வும் இங்கு ஓங்குமே, ஓங்கும் யாவும் நீங்குகின்ற நித்யானந்தன் தத்துவம், சூக்ஷ்ம தேகம் தன்னை தாண்டும் விந்தை செய்து காட்டுமே, ஓங்கும் யாவும் நீங்குகின்ற நித்யானந்தன் தத்துவம், சூக்ஷ்ம தேகம் தன்னை தாண்டும் விந்தை செய்து காட்டுமே. என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா, என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. ஆழ்ந்த நித்திரைக்குள் காணும் காரண சரீரமும் பனத்தை மெய்யன் எண்ணியே தவித்திடும், ஆழ்ந்த நித்திரைக்குள் காணும் காரண சரீரமும் சூழும் சொப்பனத்தை மெய்யன் எண்ணியே தவித்திடும், மீளுகின்ற சூத்திரம் அருள் செய்யும் நித்யானந்தனால் காரண சரீரம் தன்னை பூர்ணமாய் கடக்கிறோம், காரண சரீரம் தன்னை பூர்ணமாய் கடக்கிறோம். என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா, என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும் தியானம் அளித்தவா. அற்பமான வஸ்து மீது கொள்ளும் மோக எண்ணமே, அற்பமான வஸ்து மீது கொள்ளும் மோக எண்ணமே, ஸ்வர்க்கமாய் தெரிந்து ஆன்ம தேகம் தன்னை ஆளுமே, விற்பனை பொருட்கள் மீது கொள்ளுகின்ற பற்றலாம், விற்பனை பொருட்கள் மீது கொள்ளுகின்ற பற்றலாம், சொற்பமாய் சுகம் அளிக்கும் போகம் விளைவிக்குமே, சொற்பமாய் சுகம் அளிக்கும் போகம் விளைவிக்குமே. என்னப்பனல்லவா என் தாயும் அல்லவா தன்னை உணர்த்திடும்